Good morning. I'm Caitlin Clary. Welcome to the Great Journey podcast. We're here with Sensei Marty Callahan, who has a fun story for us today that he likes to call Kissing a Deer at 45 miles per hour.
Yes.
So I am intrigued by that title. Yes. Tell us this story.
Okay. So our school, of course, is in Santa Rosa, and I live in Occidental, which is about 25 miles away, 15 miles away, 25 minutes away.
Yes.
Going through the hills and whatever. And on this one evening, I was headed home, and it was dark. And I was coming around a corner. I was about a half mile from my house. And as I come around this corner, and I'm driving quickly, which is my typical way of driving.
Yes.
Which I do want to say something about that. So
Yeah.
I don't believe that people should speed. I think they should stay fairly close to the speed limit.
Okay.
But I do think that quick driving is actually, I enjoy it.
Okay.
It's fun. And it also helps me to keep my reflexes sharp.
Okay.
So
When did you start this?
When did I start driving quickly?
Yes.
Let's see. When did I start driving? I was 16.
Oh, okay.
I probably didn't start driving that quickly, as from my years of training.
Yes.
Then I think I started to drive quicker from that.
Okay. Which you'll explain in a minute, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I come around this corner, and I'm doing about 45 miles an hour. And just as I come around the corner, a young doe comes jumping across the road, running across the road, at a diagonal angle in the same direction I was moving in. And then she stops right in the middle of the road, and she turns around and she looks at me.
Right. They say deer in the headlights for a reason.
Yeah, the deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
And she must have been only 50 feet in front of me, not a whole lot more.
Okay.
And I slammed on my brakes, and of course there was a squeal of the tires. And I think that's what broke her out of any kind of a trance that she might have been in.
Right.
And she started to backpedal as fast as she could.
Yeah.
While my truck is coming right straight at her.
Right.
And just before I collide with her, I just bump her lightly, and she spins off and goes across the road, hops over the fence, and stops.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I had come to a complete stop. So I was looking out my driver's window at her, and she was standing there looking at me. And I think we were both going, "Oh my God,
what did we
that
just
was
avoid?"
close."
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I tell this story, number one, is because I don't think you would forget something like that.
No.
The basic rule of thumb that I've always heard in terms of animals on the road is you don't want to swerve to avoid them, because in swerving to avoid them, you're going to end up in the ditch and possibly,
or in a tree. Yeah.
Seriously hurt. So it's better to actually hit them.
Yeah.
As sad as that might be. But in this case, I feel that the one of the offshoots or the benefits of all my karate training has been the control that I have over the view of my awareness, my sense of awareness, my ability to react and respond to things that are happening. Right. And my body just does things that I'm not at all expecting that it would be able to do. I had no idea I'd be able to slam on the brakes so hard, so fast, to stop just in time of bumping into her.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of when talking about the reflexes that you develop and the instant response, it reminds me of a time when I was out with some friends down in Southern California. We were actually on the beach in San Diego.
I love San Diego.
Yeah. So there was about 5 or 6 of us there, and we had our towels all laid out on the beach, and I had I'm a very organized person, or I like to think that way anyway.
Yeah.
So I had my wallet and my watch and my glasses and my car keys, maybe a hat or whatever, all sitting there on the corner of my towel. And we're all laying there soaking in the sun. And I'm on my stomach and my head is turned and I look up and out of the corner of my eye, this huge wave is standing over me.
Whoa, wow, okay.
Yeah, and it was like this on its way down.
Yeah.
And within a split second, I scrambled to my feet. I grabbed all my stuff. I stepped to the side. The wave came crashing down. I didn't get wet at all.
Oh.
All of my friends got soaked.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed at the reflexes.
Yeah.
I in a way, I didn't attribute it to myself. I attributed it to the training.
Right. Okay.
And then the funny part about it was then we moved all of our towels back so that we were all away from the beach.
Yeah.
But the tide was coming in.
Yeah.
And about 30 minutes later, the same thing happened. And I didn't react at all. And I got soaked.
That is funny.
Because I think I was still amazed, so amazed that I
Right.
was able to do
You're
that.
so impressed.
Yeah. Wow. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
Anyway,
Well, that's a great story. I love that you always have stories that have these great life lessons in them. Was
yes.
there anything else you wanted to share before I close out?
It's the self-control
Yes.
aspect. It's the ability to react and respond to things that are going on around you.
Yeah.
So martial arts training, especially our Shotokan training here,
Mhm.
it isn't just about defending yourself
Right.
from an attacker, but it's defending yourself in many different situations.
Mhm.
And this wasn't really a life or death situation. So what, you get soaked, right?
Right.
You dry out.
And the deer situation could have been.
That would have been life and
Yes.
death. Yes.
Right.
It could have been either way. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad I'm not a deer and I'm glad I don't get stuck like a deer in the headlights. But if I were a deer in the headlights, I definitely think that we'd want Sensei Callahan behind the wheel, right? With those great reflexes. Okay.
Right.
Well, thanks so much for listening and we'll see you next time on the Great Journey podcast. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.